Hey, welcome back, Swishers, and happy Monday today. Okay, we finally get a break from an all week, week long full of games. I mean, they were back to back to back, and some of these players, it's hard for them to rest in between because some got a day rest in between and some got no rest in between. But I have been very happy to see all these games televised through NBA TV, through ESPN, CBS Sports Network, ABC, whatever else, channels that they have been showing through. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm glad that I was able to see a lot of these games and be able to keep you guys up to date with these games as well. Okay. Got some good and exciting news. Got some bad news, especially pertaining to Sabrina Ionescu. If you remember correctly, Sabrina Ionescu and the New York Liberty went up against the Atlanta Dream, I think it was last Wednesday, and Sabrina went out with an ankle injury. And around that time, we were unsure of the ankle injury, and we have come to find out that it is a grade 3 sprained ankle, which means that it is one of the worst ankle sprains that you can have. It means that she did tear a ligament in that ankle, and so I'm hoping that she has a speedy recovery, and that she's able to come back. They did announce that, she's probably going to take it with ease, little by little. And and there might be a chance that her rookie season might not pan out the way that she wants it to. She may end up sitting out the rest of the season. We're still unsure about that right now. And, so, good luck to her in healing and hopefully coming back soon. You'll probably notice that the New York Liberty is not the same team without her. Before that, she put up her first record double-double, and it was 33 points. And so she was flying high. She was doing great. And come that game against Atlanta Dream, it just wasn't her night. And so, like I said, hopefully she heals out. Hopefully she can come back. But who's to say? Because this is a shortened season. It's only 22 games. So we'll see what happens over time. Maybe she'll come back and play for a couple minutes here and there. Maybe she just practices. I don't know. We'll see, and we'll continue updating you on that here on WNBA Daily Swish to keep you informed about what's going on with Sabrina, because I know there's a lot of Ionescu fans out there, and I know they're feeling a lot of pain for her right now. Okay. In other news, we're going to go ahead and go into the regular season standings now that we've had a lot of games progress right now. You got your top 5 teams that I'm going to go over real quick. We have Chicago Sky, who is your number 1. Number 2 is the Washington Mystics. Okay. Number 3 is the Seattle Storm. Number 4 is the Minnesota Lynx. And number 5 is the Los Angeles Sparks. But right below them is the Las Vegas Aces. And so far, they're having a good run. They're having a good season. But against Phoenix Mercury, I don't know. That, to me, that was not the Las Vegas Aces that we're used to seeing. But then again, they don't have Kelsey Plum. They don't have Liz Cambage. Another one of their players is out right now due to testing positive for COVID, and so she's trying to keep herself away and steer away until she gets better, and we'll keep updated with that as well. It seems to confirm that none of the other players or teams have tested positive for COVID as of right now. It was just her, and I think it was just the early onset stages. So we'll keep updated with that as well. Another update, let me see. We have the Los Angeles Sparks. They seem to be doing well. You have Candace Parker. She seems to be stepping it up pretty well. You have the Minnesota Lynx. Washington Mystics and Chicago Sky are your top teams right now. And it's no surprise to me, especially for the Chicago Sky. You have Quigley, Vandersloot, several other talented players like Dolson. I mean, that team is hard to compete with right now. And so I'm proud of them for right now. And the last game that they had was against the Washington Mystics. And you could see how close this game was because these are your top two teams right now. Okay? The final score was 86-88. And that game was very, very close, down to the wire. And your top scores. Okay? Let's go ahead and check out the highlights of that game because that game was a very, very fun game to watch. So, like I said, these are two hot teams. You have Quigley for the Sky, you have Vandersloot, you have Dolson. Top three huge contenders in this game.
Pair of teams off to strong starts down at the Wubble. We're talking about the Mystics and the Sky. We get started with Sky. Gabby Williams drives inside, misses the left. There's Cheyenne Parker grabbing the offensive rebound, putting it back through contact for the and one bucket. She had 8 points and 5 rebounds in the first half. It was a 1-point game after that. Aisha Heinz.
So both teams, both very well set up, both offensively and defensively.
9 in the first half. Mystics led it by 2 at the break. There. Third quarter, still a tight game. Washington come out hot.
So you can see down at the bottom, the defense for the Chicago Sky is very tight down there. They're not going to let anybody in. So what did they have to do? Did the Washington Mystics have to do? They had to take these outside shots. They were kind of forced because if you see, they're close on the inside.
12-5 run, and they open a 9-point lead. Allie Quigley drains a 3 to tie it at the end of the third. She was 3 of 6 from range. Fourth quarter, Parker pushes away for Chicago. Drives the traffic to the layup. Put Chicago up too late. Then Parker kicking it to Diamond to Shields in the corner. Gets it back to Parker, who absorbs more contact.
And that's one of the amazing things about the Chicago Sky. You can have all the defense on them right there on the inside, but they're still going to find a way to get to that hoop. Okay? So, they meant business. Both of these teams meant business the other night. Okay? So, there's something to not, to not mess with and to take for granted. Okay? And, the Washington Mystics are doing this without Elena Del Don. So you have to say that both of these teams are stepping it up. So your top scores, okay, for the Washington Mystics, okay, you had Ariel Atkins for your top scorer of that game. Okay, she came out with 24 points, and following right behind her, Ariel Powers. Okay, so you had Ariel and Ariel leading that game. So I find that pretty awesome. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into other news right now, okay? So our first players of the week, okay, we have Brianna Stewart and Heinz Allen, okay? If you know who Maisha Heinz Allen is, she's from the Washington Mystics, okay? And she averages about 17, 18 points a game, okay? And so she's a fabulous player to watch. She has been really stepping it up this season, and she has shown true potential throughout the games lately. And then you have the other one, which is one of the GOATs, Brianna Stewart. Okay? There's no question there that Brianna Stewart is another one of the players of the week. And she averages about 18 games a week, 9 rebounds a game. Okay? And it's no surprise. And like I said, she was injured last year, and then she comes back into this season, and it's like she was never even injured. Okay? Another top contender that I've been watching is Asia Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Okay, if you remember correctly, last year, she wasn't really given a chance because you had Liz Cambage, you have Kayla McBride, and then you had Kelsey Plum kind of taking over, and she was just kind of there in the shadows. So I'm kind of anxious to see what else Asia Wilson has to offer us, because she's been all over the floor. I mean, she has been tremendous this last couple games. She scored the last game. She scored 19 points against Dallas Wings last night, and then the game before that, not against the Phoenix Mercury. It was kind of an off game that night, I guess you could say. But the other night, the game before that, I think it was, I forget who it was against, but she scored an average 21 points that game. And she really proved herself big time on the court. So I'm really proud of her. I'm really happy for her. So keep them coming, Asia. Okay. Then you have Mitchell and Dupree. Okay. Candace Supreme, another player to be on the lookout for. She's really stepping. I mean, I'm seeing her name all over the place and all over the court lately too. So keep an eye out on her. Okay. And keep an eye out for Phoenix too, because just because they're down at the bottom doesn't mean that they're not going to come back out on top. Okay. So keep an eye out for all those bottom teams, because sometimes those teams that look like they're not doing so well, towards the end of the season, it's like, bam, where did they freaking come from? Because they're fighting to the end. Okay. So this is just a little bit of start. They're just getting a little bit of a feel, and that's okay. But just don't take too long there, right? Okay. So hopefully these teams that are down at the bottom, that are usually known to be out on top, okay, hopefully they get there eventually. And, especially for the Connecticut Sun, okay? Sometime eventually they're going to have to get a win, right? Okay, so they'll get there. Once they get, a little bit more of a groove, and I don't want them to stay there too long, but, because I think DeWanna Bonner is just getting a little, I'd be a little irritated if it was me, right? Okay? So let's just keep watching those teams. Let's keep watching it. Keep them coming. Okay. Your next set of games, like I said, today is a break. So they get that actual rest today. Okay. So your actual set of games is going to start tomorrow. Okay. So Tuesday night. Okay. So get your popcorn ready. Get your game snacks, game drinks ready. Okay. Our first game is the Dallas Wings versus the Chicago Sky. Okay, I predict Chicago Sky is going to take a win out of this game, just because, they're the number one team right now. They're the number one contenders. But you never know. Arika Gumbawali could come out of nowhere and just take Dallas Wings for a win. Okay, and maybe her and Mariah Jefferson can team up and take out the Chicago Sky. Okay, so that's the first game at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, okay, on Fox Sports Southwest. Okay, then you have the Phoenix Mercury versus the Atlanta Dream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Okay, then you also have the Connecticut Sun versus the Seattle Storm at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. So be sure to catch those games, okay? Don't miss them, okay? And if you don't have the WNBA app, I suggest you download it now, and you can watch games from there too, from the WNBA League Pass, okay? That's all I have for y'all today. Okay, that's all the news that I have. I know some of it was kind of short, some of it was kind of fast. Okay, but that's what the WNBA Daily Swish is all about: getting through the news fast and getting it to you as soon as possible. Okay, so that's all I have for y'all today. Be sure to stay tuned to the WNBA Daily Swish Facebook page. Okay, be sure to be on the lookout for my vlogs. Okay, and be sure to just chat anything and everything WNBA. Okay. I really appreciate y'all's support. Spread the word. If you know any WNBA fans, spread the word, okay? Hook them up to my Facebook page. Hook them up to my YouTube channel, okay? So until then, thank y'all for the love and support. And if it ain't hot, it ain't a swish.